Hello, everybody. It's Laura Husband here from Hairdressers Journal International. And today's session, we will be revealing how you can use extensions to boost your hairdressing business. And today's session is supported by Great Lengths. If you'd like to find out more about Great Lengths, you can click the link in our comments to see how you can become a certified Great Lengths stylist. And I'm super excited because today we have got with us Vicky Demetriou. I hope I've said your name there right there, Vicky. He's a freelance stylist and extensionist based at Larry King Salon in London. And we've also got the amazing James Henderson, who's the artistic director and salon owner of M Hair in Nottingham, who is also the global charity ambassador for Great Lengths. So welcome to today's session, Vicky and James. It's great to have you both with us today.
Great to be here.
Thank you for having us.
You're very welcome. And I guess, should we maybe just kick off with you guys telling us a little bit about yourselves? Would you like to kick off, James?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I've been working with extensions for about 25 years. Been with Great Lengths since about 2014. Set up the partnership with Great Lengths and the Little Princess Trust, and I'm now global ambassador for Great Lengths.
Oh, brilliant. We'll be talking a little bit about the Little Princess Trust a little bit later as well, won't we? Fantastic. And Vicky, would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I've been an extensionist now pretty much for as long as I've been a hairdresser, which is about 22 years. And I do I started with various different types of extensions and working with wigs. I've been with Great Lengths now. Probably I discovered them properly around 2004. So I've been working with them for quite a while now, and pretty much working with them quite exclusively now.
Brilliant. Fantastic. And obviously, there is absolutely no doubt about it. This year has been a year that none of us are ever going to forget. So maybe you could talk to us a little bit about your experiences this year. Obviously, James, you're based in Nottingham, and Vicky, you're based in central London. So maybe if you kind of tell us a little bit about your experiences and maybe how this second lockdown has changed from both your perspective and also from your extension clients' perspective as well.
Yeah, I think with this one, because it was there was a sudden when they announced it was quite a sudden thing, and they gave us a little bit of notice this time. It was like I'm sure James can tell you this. It was like complete rush. It was,
It was
you
crazy.
know,
A few days up to
night.
Yeah.
Completely. So I think this time everybody kind of knew what was happening. We knew what to expect. They were like, right, I'm getting in there. I'm getting my hair done. You know, there's a lot of zooming going on. There's no way I'm being left out this time round, and just I think purely because we know they've been pretty, telling us that the end date is going to be on the 2nd, the 4th, isn't it? So the end date's going to be on the 4th. So they're a little bit more keeping us in the loop so everyone can plan a bit more. So I feel like everybody's feeling a little bit differently this time. They're feeling a bit more prepared, whereas last time it was a real big shocker for us all, and then it went on probably for a little bit longer than what we all thought it was going to go on for. So this time it's been a lot better, but I think last time there was a lot of us just giving clients support and talking to them the whole way through, and not really knowing when we were going to be able to, touch base with them again. Whereas this time there's a little bit more of a timeline. So we're a little bit happy with that.
And James, did you find that your extensions clients in particular were eager to get in as soon as they could before the lockdown start?
I mean, obviously the first lockdown was a lot longer, so we had a massive backlog of clients then we had to work through, which took probably about 6 weeks to get through. So luckily we've done a big bulk of that. But I mean this time it was still very busy, but luckily we told us it's only going to be 4 weeks, so people were a little bit more prepared for it, so it wasn't as hectic as the first lockdown. So we managed to get most of them done before we closed. Yeah.
Brilliant. And obviously both of you are extensionists. Obviously, James, you're a salon owner, and Vicky, you're a freelance extensionist and stylist at Larry King Salon in London. So it'll be interesting to gauge from both of you how you've both used extensions to help with your own businesses. Do you want to maybe kick off with that, Vicky, how you've used extensions, and obviously in particular the Great Lengths brand of extensions to help boost your own business as a freelance stylist and extensionist?
Well, the thing is with extensions is it's adding a different dimension to the salon. So you've got cut, you've got colour, and then, you know, you've got the extension side of things, which really, really does, you know, just take it into a different level, because you can really do things with hair that they wouldn't normally do. You know, extensions are great for an accessory for a lot of people. They just want really long, bouncy hair, and they've got great hair anyway. You know, they don't want to wait for the length to grow. But for a lot of people, it really makes a huge difference. You know, they literally haven't got any hair, and that takes away their confidence. And I'm probably one of those people, to be honest with you. I've got my extensions in now, got them pre-lockdown, you know, so I really do understand that side of things, and that's really why I got into them. But from also a creative point of view, it really just adds some more excitement. It's like an extra tool. You know, you are giving someone the hair that they couldn't have otherwise. So it's like a really good thing for the salon. You've got that third thing going on. And as well, from a point of view of the staff, you know, some people really, really excel at colour, some people excel at cutting, and there's other people that just totally get extensions. You know, it's a completely different skill. It's a bit more placement, it's a bit more shape, you know, it's a bit more colour blending. So it is really, really quite exciting. And also from a client point of view, it's giving them a reason to come to you. So if they're coming to you because you've got great cutters, then they're going to be getting their colour done there as well. But if they're drawn in from the colour side, they're going to be getting the other stuff done. If you've got great extensionists, you then are, you know, expanding the amount of clients you can bring into your business, you know. So from that point of view, it's really, really helped. I mean, every salon I've gone to, I've picked up clients, and I've brought a whole load of clients, and people will travel for extensions because it is still quite niche and specialist. You know, a lot of people are quite scared to touch on it and take it on board. So so really from that point of view, for me, I think it's just essential to have it now in the salon. It's just a new way of bringing in more people, and, you know, being able to give people hair that they can't have otherwise.
Fantastic. And James, how have you used Great Lengths extensions to grow your business from a salon owner perspective?
Yeah, I mean, quite similar to what Vicky was saying, really. I mean, our biggest bulk of clients are probably 40 plus, because as you get older, unfortunately, your hair does thin. So, you know, there's not a lot you can do about that. Obviously, there's products on the market, fitting products and things like that. But, you know, the best way is to add more hair. So, Great Lengths are fantastic for that, because on finer hair, you can customize all the bonds. So when they're in, they're basically undetectable in the hair. You've got natural body. So, you know, a lot of my clients, well, most of them actually, their even the friends don't know that they're wearing extensions. They think it's their hair. So, you know, that's been really good for us. So we get a lot of repeat business from regular clients coming in all the time, every four months, to have the hair volumized. So that really works well for us.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing. People just want great hair, and they don't know a lot of the time that extensions is the route to that. You see what I mean? So if they come in, they don't even know that you can, like James was saying, you know, if most of his clientele is 40 plus and they just need thickeners. People don't know that. People just think long, bouncy OTT hair. They don't realize that you're going to be getting a really great natural result. So when you've got that tool in the salon and your staff know how to use it, they can just add it in. Do you see what I mean? So it's not just they're coming in for extension service. They might be coming in for a cut and colour and just need a few to get the result that they want.
And I think that's great as well, the fact that you're tapping into the fact that it's an older clientele that you can tap into this with as well, not just the younger clientele. So if somebody's tuning in and their salon is predominantly 40 plus clients, they might originally have thought, oh, well, extensions wouldn't be for me. But actually, that's an untapped market for your clientele who do have the money to spend on making sure their hair looks good.
Yeah, I think it's even more for them, because they have the disposable income to do it. It's their money, you know. when you're younger and you want it, like we get a lot, I'm sure James does as well. I think we've spoken about this before. We get a lot of people coming to us that for their 16th birthday, their 18th birthday, their 21st birthday. And that's really, really nice. That's fantastic. But, you know, they can't be a repeat client because, you know, they don't have a job yet. So it's like, you know, whereas when you're, you know, when it's your money, and then you can do that. You can be a repeat client, and really that's a great market to tap into.
Yeah, and I'd say as well with that one, you know, as you get older, you may have tried 3-4 different brands in before you get to great lengths, and then kind of once you've got there, you're unlikely to go back to any other brand once you've tried it.
That's a good point there, James, because that was going to be my next question, which is what attracted you to the Great Lengths brand specifically for the hair extensions you offer in both of your salons?
Yeah, well, I mean, for me, you know, one of the key things was the ethicality, traceability of the hair, and all, you know, but mainly the quality of the hair, because the quality, it's consistent. It's, you know, it's like your own hair. You can style it like your own hair. And it makes my job easy because you don't get any problems from clients. You know, clients are happy with it. So, you know, it will help you to build your business as well, because you don't get the problems that you get with other brands.
I mean, that's really key, what you just said, consistency. As everybody knows, I've trained for quite a few brands over the years, you know, and when you're working with a brand, you really need communication and consistency from them, because at the end of the day, hair's a raw material, and you need to be able to know that you can go back to the source if you have any questions or queries, because a lot of salon owners will turn around and say, well, you know, if there's a problem, or we've had problems with hair before and we don't want to go down that route because we're the ones absorbing the costs when there's a problem. Well, you know, you can eliminate that by just going to a really, really strong brand who have got a history, who've got consistency, who have a support team with you. I mean, the other thing that's really great about Great Lengths, and which is important to me, and this is very important to me in a lot of things that I do personally in my life, is that they have good ethics. They have good ethics. The factory is quite eco, it's quite sustainable, the way they process the hair, and all of this is really important. It's a fair trade product that can be, you know, traced back to the source, which is a really big thing, because hair extensions, they've got a little bit, you know, sometimes people are like, it's a bit shady, you know, but it doesn't have to be that way. And this is a product that isn't, which is, you know, why I am really quite drawn to it. Plus, what James has set up with Little Princess Trust, it's now a full circle product. You know, we're then, I mean, James will say a little bit more about that in a second, but you know, it's like from the beginning to the end, there is a traceable source. You know, so it starts by helping communities, you know, and then we get to wear it for whatever our reasons are, and then it gets to end its life in a really, really good place, helping, you know, a very good charity, you know.
Fantastic. And before we tap into the Little Princess Trust, have you noticed that clients have become a bit more savvy and want to know more about the sources of the products that you're offering them in the salon, and they care more about the sustainability and the ethics and everything behind it?
I think so. I mean, I think people are a lot more aware now anyway. And they do, you know, they do want to kind of know where the hair comes from. That's one of the first questions that clients ask me, you know, where does the hair come from? You know, we can put a hand on a heart and tell them exactly where it does come from, because, you know, a lot of companies out there, they use hair traders, so they don't actually know where the hair originates from, whereas we can actually tell them the full story. So yeah, I think clients are a lot more aware now, and it's good that we can be honest and tell them exactly where it comes from, and you know, and where it's going to end up as well. So yeah.
Yeah, 100%. People want to know where it comes from. I want to know where it comes from. You know, I work in central London. It's a luxury service for a lot of people. It's, you know, I want to be involved in something that is full circle and ethical. you know. So not only do I want to know, they want to know, and we've got that traceability with Great Lengths, which I think is really, really important, you know.
Fantastic. And we were going to talk about it a little bit later, but we've mentioned it already. So I feel like we should sort of talk about the Little Princess Trust for anyone who's listening and wanting to know what that is. So James, as the charity ambassador for Great Lengths, do you want to maybe tell us a little bit about the partnership that Great Lengths has with the Little Princess Trust and what it is and how people tuning in can get involved?
Yeah, sure. Well, we set up the partnership in 2015. So basically what can happen now is when you have your hair extensions removed, they can be donated to the Little Princess Trust, and then they'll go on to make wigs for children that are suffering from hair loss through cancer treatment and other illnesses. So it's quite easy to do. So, you know, any salon can get involved. They can just ring Great Lengths and they'll send them a pack out, which contains a return bag and also little cards which you tie onto the hair. So you get the client to fill this card out with their name and email address on, and then it's tied to the hair and it's sent directly back to Great Lengths. They basically look at the hair, check it's their hair, and then they'll send it on to the charity, and then it will go to their wig manufacturers to make wigs. The charity has a real shortage of longer lengths for donations, so they really want, you know, for them, anything over 16 inches is perfect. They will accept shorter lengths as well, but the longer lengths is really what they need to make the wigs that, you know, children want. I mean, young girls that have lost their hair, they want to look like a princess, so they want long hair, basically. But they also supply to boys as well, so they do use the shorter lengths as well. So anything from 7 inches is kind of the minimum length, but 7 to 16 is perfect, yeah.
Such a fantastic cause, isn't it? And I know, Vicky, you get involved with that, don't you, with your clients?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. And I always make sure that I say that to the clients as well, because it's good to get them into a habit. If they know what happens with the hair afterwards, then, you know, it's an incentive for them to come back and get the hair removed with us. Or if they do get the hair removed at another Great Lengths certified salon where, for example, they might be getting another service done, you know, they put pressure on that salon to then do that service, or they'll bring it back to us. So I think it's a really good story for them to know. It's a really good bit of understanding, you know. So yeah, so we definitely get involved in that. And it is quite time consuming for a lot of salons, but it's so worth it, you know. It's so worth it.
For anyone tuning in who thinks, oh, this will be a lot more time and effort to do, does it take much more time and effort to?
Not at all. No, not at all. It's just changing your habits. So ordinarily, when you remove extensions, take them out, you throw them on the floor. So all you need to do is have a hair holder on the side, and when you remove the extension, you put it on the hair holder. When you're done, put a cable tie around it, put the label on, put it in a bag. So it doesn't take any longer. It's just getting into that habit of doing it. And once you get into the habit, you know, it's easy. It's just making the effort, really. I mean, we've put together a how-to video with Great Lengths as well. So if anyone's interested in that, they can send that out to them as well.
Oh, fantastic. And I guess also it's a good selling point for clients because it adds to the sustainable message, as well as the fact that you're helping children with cancer. But it means those hair extensions are getting used again, which is fantastic, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The more salons that can get involved, the better, really. So we want to kind of, you know, continue to grow this partnership. It is launched globally now as well, so we've got a huge potential for all salons all over the world to get involved in this.
Amazing. So anybody tuning in, if you want to find out more about it, can they come to you, James, as the charity ambassador?
They can come to me, or they can email Great Lengths. But I'm happy to answer any questions anyone's got. Yeah. Perfect.
And we've got a link in the comments, which you should be able to see, where you can find out how to become a certified salon with Great Lengths and indeed get involved with the Little Princess Trust as well, which is fantastic. Brilliant. Well, I guess, shall we kind of tap into the fact that we are currently in England anyway? I know different parts of the UK are in different stages at the moment, but we are currently in a lockdown. What can fellow extensionists or indeed hair salon businesses do right now to to kind of keep in touch with their clients, to offer help and advice, and maybe potentially give them some sort of products or something in the meantime to help that communication going, and perhaps even generate some extra revenue?
I think the main thing is you've got to keep in touch with your clients, you know, and keep them up to date with, you know, how to look after their hair by themselves at home, because a lot of clients rely on you always being there, you know. So it's good to keep, you know, reassuring them that you're there and giving them all the information, because a lot of people don't really have all the information, you know. So they're not using the right shampoo, they're not using the right hair products, they're not tying their hair up in the right way, brushing their hair in the right way. And I think it's a really good way as well for salons, if they're selling products online, to still be, you know, creating an income for themselves by, you know, keeping the clients within, like, having the right products and maintaining their extensions. So I think it's just really communication with their clients, you know, just making sure everybody knows what's going on, reminding them things. Like, a lot of my clients forget to tie their hair back at night, they forget to brush their hair, they forget, you know, to use scrunchies, which are so important in, you know, if you've got coloured hair, if you've got extensions, if you've got bleached hair, it's like the #1 hair accessory really for maintaining your hair. Who would have thought? And it's just a hairband, right? So it's good just to keep that up to date, and it's things that people can buy really easily, and it just keeps and maintains their hair. So I think that's a really important thing, just keeping the information and just letting them know that you're still there, you know, and they're not alone.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity, I think, to kind of you know, make those connections as well. Or, you know, sometimes you might not make as many connections with your clients, and this is the perfect time to do it. Answer any questions they've got, and just let them know that you're there, basically, to support them through it.
Brilliant. And we've had Tia Daniels, who's tuning in, is saying that she loves your hair, Vicky. And obviously you're sporting Great Lengths hair extensions at the moment, aren't you? So you're an advert for them.
It's all great lengths.
And yeah, and she's loving it. She's saying it's real people showing something worth sharing for our communities, which is fantastic. And what are your tips? Obviously, both of you see your hair extensions businesses from different points of view, because obviously you're a freelancer, Vicky, and I know you've done celeb and fashion type work as well. And James, you're a salon owner. So what are your tips for growing an extensions business within those different frameworks for people that are tuning in and might have slightly different roles?
Well, I think from my point of view, it is, and from some point of view, actually, it's probably follow-up support for your clients. You know, a lot of places will perhaps just do the extensions and then just leave people, and really it's a whole new head of hair, and no, you haven't grown it naturally, you've just woken up the next day and you've got it. So I think the key is training for your clients. Make sure they know what they're doing, they know how to treat their new hair, and when they understand and they've got more knowledge, they're going to stay with you. So that is really, and their hair's going to look great. And the better their hair looks, like James said earlier, that people are going to be like, where'd you get your hair done? And then they're going to recommend them to come and see you. Even if they don't want to say they've had extensions, they're going to recommend them, and they're going to end up having extensions, because then they realize that's the key to having this luscious, bouncy hair, you know. But it really is just support for your clients and support for your stylists that are doing extensions, especially if it's a new extensionist. You know, I've got 2 assistants that work with me and they're training. And, you know, in the beginning, they just think, you know, they just put it in, they do a 1-day course and then that's it. But it isn't really. You need to keep going with them, because it's a new technique. So if you keep going with them, they're going to get better, you know. So really, I think it's about support. If you give that to your staff and then you give that to your clients, you're going to grow your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think aftercare is key, really. So making sure the clients come back in, going through everything with them. We normally do, you know, shampoo and blow dry, show them some styling tips, recommend products for them to use, go through all that with them, so they're confident when they leave. And then, you know if they've got any questions, they've only got to pick up the phone and drop you an email, and you're there for them. But I think, you know, one of the main things is good quality hair. You know, it's a basic thing, but if you're using the best quality, it makes your job easy because you don't get problems. You don't get people coming back complaining that the hair's gone knotty and this is happening, that's happening. So we don't have any of that. So I think follow-up appointments is really important, but just use the best you can use and practice, you know, and be the best you can be. And try and do, you know, make it your own. So you'll learn obviously the basics when you go and do the training, but what you take away from that is what sets you apart. So customizing the bonds, you know, adding different colours, just making it your own.
It's great advice there.
Yeah, I mean, great lengths do give you quite a lot of support. I mean, even to this day, I was perming some hair extensions the other day, and I hadn't done it for a while, actually. I used to do quite a lot of it, but I really hadn't done it for a while. And it was a fashion colour, which you can't really perm, but I was going to perm, you know. And at the end of the day, like, they've got people on the other end of the phone that have this experience. You know, they've got hairdressers working in their main centre. So I could just call them and just talk it through with one of the girls, which was like incredible. So to have that support system with the extension company, that's going to help you grow. So all of a sudden you can offer slightly more unique services and bespoke hair to your clients. So I think that's really, really important as well.
Having that backup support from the brand, but also being able to position yourself as the guru to your clients, as the professionals that they feel like they can always reach out to you, even if their appointment's long gone, but they can get back in touch with you and ask those important questions. Great advice. And I'm so glad you touched on the perming there, Vicky, because we've had a question which is an advice question. So maybe one of you might be able to help. But if a client has very fine hair, but very tight curly hair, will it be hard to blow dry and straighten it with the extensions? And would you advise going for straight or curly extensions?
I'll let you go for that, Vicky.
As you touched on the perming element.
Well,
I'm going to answer that better than I would.
Well, great lengths. The origins of the hair is Indian hair, which generally has quite a wave to it. Not just a natural wave, it's got a little bit more than that. So if your hair's a natural curl or a softer curl, they mix really, really well. It's going to blend without any issues. If you've got a much tighter curl, a strong curl, then you might have to go for a perm with it. And they do offer a service where they perm, but there's only certain colours they can perm, because the hair does go through a process to get, you know, a really clean blonde, you know, and they can't guarantee the end result, so they tend not to do it. I personally do it. So I think if you're talking about, is it hard to blow dry out? No, it's not hard to blow dry out because the hair's natural. It's really good quality hair. It doesn't knot, you know, you're going to get a brush for it. With a perm, it's natural hair, so it's going to dry out a little bit more than normal, but it's not going to be hard to blow dry at all. But like I said, 9 times out of 10, the natural curl of the hair is going to be easy to match with most curly hair.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for that advice. Hopefully that was useful for you, Margaret. Fantastic. Well, I can't believe we're getting towards the end of the session. We had so much to cover, didn't we, in this session? I feel like we're covering a lot of ground. But maybe, would you be able to tell us a little bit about how you both stay up to date with the innovations in the extensions market and also within the hairdressing market as a whole, and why that is so important for being on your A game in terms of offering extensions to your clients?
Yeah, I mean, obviously I watch the Hairdressers Journal live things all the time, so I get a lot of tips off there.
Pleased to hear that, James.
But no, I mean, just keeping your ear to the ground, really. I mean, you know, following social media, looking at what people are working with. But you know, be fortunate because great lengths are at the forefront of everything anyway. So you know, they're always kind of there. So we work very closely with them, and yeah, that's kind of where I would sit with that, really.
Perfect. And Vicky, in terms of your kind of celebrity-based clients, the fashion sort of stuff that you do, as well as your clients in the salon, why do you think it's so important to always be keeping up to date with all the innovations that's going on within extensions and indeed the wider market?
Well, because there's always going to be a better way to do something, and you have to believe that there's going to be a better way to get a greater, more natural result. I mean, at the moment, the results are great. you're getting really natural hair, but you want to make things easier. You want to just see what's going on. I mean, we're quite lucky. I'm quite lucky because a lot of people contact me. So I think it's really important to just put yourself out there, you know, make people know and aware that you are really interested in new techniques. You're not stuck in your way. You want to do something more exciting. You know, it just helps you really offer different services, because a lot of the times they might put something out there and they might not have thought of the way that you've thought about using it. So it opens doors for you. So you as a stylist might get an idea in your head, and then Great Lengths might launch something and not realize that they've just opened a whole new door for you, because you've got a completely different clientele than everybody else, you know. So because it really does depend where you are and what you use and what's effective and stuff. So I think it's really important to keep up with everything, because it's always changing, and it keeps you more interested, and your clients have got a lot more confidence in you. And the people around you, they know that you know, because you're really interested in it. So they know that they can trust you when there's a new shampoo, when there's a new way of tying their hair back, you know, when there is a new color out there, a better technique, a better removal technique, you've got it for them. So it's like a real trust thing at the end, I think.
Fantastic. And what can you do within your business from an extensions point of view to have a real point of difference to your competitors?
I think, well, for me, it's the you know, customization of what you're doing. So, you know, it's the customizing the bonds, color blending, the cutting, the styling is very important with extensions. You know, it's something that people overlook a lot of the time, but that's key to making it look natural. You know, I mean, it's not just putting them in; it's how you finish it as well. So you've got to be good at blending it and cutting it, and that'll set you apart from someone that can just do extensions. You know.
Brilliant. Does the Great Lengths brand and its offering help you to do that?
Yeah, I mean, like you know, Vicky was saying before, they support you through everything. So they you know, they show you how the cutting techniques and everything as well. So all that's part of the training. So yeah, I mean, they're great for that. Yeah.
Fantastic. Did you have anything to add to that, Vicky?
The what sets you apart?
Yeah, what do you do within your business to help you set your extensions business apart from your competitors?
Well, a little bit what James said as well. You've just, like, so many salons just put the hair extensions in and then just don't think about the haircut at the end, because it is a different technique. It's not the same. You have to really, really work on it, you know, spend some time learning, seeing how the hair falls, sectioning patterns, you know, and that will really, really, really divide you from everybody else, because it's a difference between a set of hair extensions blending and moving and them just sitting in the hair, you know. With Great Lengths, they've got like 125 different blends or something, so you can get the color right. You don't have to worry about that. But that's another thing, you know, spend some time, learn how to blend color, really focus on that, you know, and then that kind of really, you know, makes you stand out. The other side of things is, if you're interested in the whole, you know, ethical side of things, which I really am, you know, the Little Prince's Trust, you know, you stand out for someone because it's like a salon that people want to go to. They know that you care about what you're doing. It doesn't feel very corporate. It feels like you've thought about every step of the way. So it's not just the delivery of the extension. So you're giving them full service color, you're giving them full service cut, but you're also thinking about where it's coming from, you know, and where it's ending up. So that's really going to make you stand out. People feel good. They know that they can trust you because you're really passionate about it. And it's not just a job to you. It's something that you really enjoy and you want to grow and you want to get better at.
Fantastic. And I guess for people that are in the parts of the UK that are currently closed, they've got that time to practice the blending and the cutting and all that kind of thing in this time that they have available. So would you recommend people use this time wisely if their business is currently closed and they want to try and up their extensions game?
Absolutely. If you're already doing extensions, you know, just spend that time doing things that you might find quite difficult, you know, like color blends, you know, think about shapes that you want to achieve that you're not really sure how, you haven't quite nailed it in a busy salon, you know, because sometimes you've got 10 minutes to do something, or you've got to do something really quickly, you've got someone waiting and your client's just decided they want a full fringe with hair extensions. You've never had it before, you've never done it before, sorry. So, you know, take that time, have a think about it, contact Great Lengths, tell them, you know, you're thinking about, you want to do learn some more advanced techniques, can they send you anything over, you know, speak to them, because they've got that. Remember, they've got someone on the other end of the phone, and they're really, really good at things like that. You know, they've got people there that are actually hairdressers. So it's a really good time now to polish up on everything and really nail it.
Fantastic. Well, we are getting very much to the end of the session. It's been a great session. We've covered a lot of ground. But just to wrap up, would both of you be able to share your final pieces of advice or tips for how those tuning in can use hair extensions to boost their hair business, whether they're freelance, whether they're based in a salon, whether they work in the more kind of, you know, editorial style side of the industry? What would be your final piece of advice or tips?
I think for me, kind of what I touched on before, you know, it's kind of an older market is a good market, because, you know, you've got repeat custom there. They've got the income to support it. Naturally thinner hair, so they're always going to want thicker hair. So for me, you know, that's helped me grow my business anyway. So yeah.
So marketing it to the older client of
Yeah. Yeah,
not the 16-year-olds who might not have the money, as Vicky said earlier.
It's forgotten about. You know, a lot of the brands, they don't particularly market that age group, but it's a very big age group. You know, and it's worked really well for us. So I'd you know, and just use the best products. Simple as that. You know, if you're using good hair, you're not going to get problems, and that's going to help your business grow as well.
Fantastic.
I think it's working on what the strengths are of your salon. So if you are if you are a colour salon, then focus on that with the extensions, focus on colour blends, you know, neutralizing colours, giving people blondes that they couldn't otherwise achieve. You know, if you are a salon that does really natural, just like London hair, then focus on that with extensions. You know, really do what you do good, what you do well, where your client base is already. So don't try and, for example, turn, you know, your clients that have bobs into long, bouncy, you know, down their waist extensions. You know, really, really add to what you've already got, because you can do that with extensions and you can make it so much more. So I would say that would be your thing. Work to the strengths. Whatever your salon does well, you know, you can do that better with extensions. It gives you another dimension.
Fantastic. That's a great piece of advice there, Vicky. And I guess as well, just combining what you both said, is that with the older clients as well, I guess the length isn't, you don't always need to have the length for a client to have extensions. It can also be about creating the fullness and the thickness with a shorter style as well, if you can get the cutting right.
Yeah, just keeping it natural, you know.
Definitely. So there's so many opportunities for using extensions to grow your hairdressing business. I hope you've all been inspired by the session we've had with the amazing Vicky and James today, everybody. And for anyone who feels inspired to find out more about the Great Lengths brand, you can find in our comments the link greatlengths.com/become/a/certified/salon. But you click the link, that's a lot easier than trying to follow what I'm saying. Click the link. Brilliant. Well, honestly, thank you so much to both of you for all of your words of wisdom and advice today. And I'm sure we spoke beforehand. I don't think you mind anyone reaching out to you either on Instagram.
Not at all.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
So please do feel free. We've also included the links to their Instagram accounts. So feel free to get in touch with both Vicky and James if you had any specific questions about the Little Princess Trust, about, you know, being a freelancer, being a salon owner, anything at all. They're happy for you to get in touch with them. Well, thank you so much to both of you, and thank you to Great Lengths for supporting this session, and we look forward to speaking to you both again soon.
Thanks, Laura. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.